Right, how's everybody doing? My name is Leon Marin. I'm a hip-hop artist from Brooklyn, New York, Gowanus Projects to be exact. And you are now tuned in to Royal Press Magazine. I've actually been rapping, give or take, I've been writing poetry since I was 6 years old. I had this teacher named Miss Dolores, who was my third grade teacher, and she sort of always inspired me to write poetry. That was like her big thing. And then when I was 11 years old, I was introduced to a studio. And then I'd say roughly around 12, 13, 14, I was in a studio with this man named Gabriel Diaz, also known as Sincere Immaculate. So I would say roughly from 11 years old as a hobby and 17 years old as taking it more as a career-based thing. There's people that genuinely want to help other people. And then I feel like, in a sense, hip-hop in New York is like a cloak. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people always talk about unity here, but it's sort of like a mask. It's just to get your resources. And I feel like nobody really has like the guts to say that. You know what I mean? I genuinely have love for a lot of people, but truth be told, people use each other every day. I think the problem comes into play when there's misuse. And I think the reason that so many New York artists have gripe with each other and feel like, you know, I don't want to help this person is because of the misusage that they've done to each other, you know what I mean? As far as the actual music, I think there's so much talent in New York, you know, but I just think that we don't network as well as a South, you know what I mean? Or a Southwest, you know what I mean? They just group together whether there's problems or not and do the grown folks thing and resolve them. Over here, it's like diss records, gossip, and, you know, from what I've seen, I just feel like we cloak rather than just do it, you know what I mean? I feel like the networking is so prime over here because this was where hip hop started. But at the same time, from what I've seen in the underground scene, it's almost like everybody's sort of in it for themselves, and there's these few MCs around that actually care enough to like each other's music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that if
you need more support.
I think that if we all just put aside all the gossip and the issues and we just realize that everybody's quite talented, you know what I mean? Even if we don't necessarily like it as our own taste.
Yeah.
Everybody sort of has a talent, you know what I mean? And I feel like if we just supported,
yeah, you
know, it'd be so much better if we just left everything out. But as far as New York, talent is definitely there. I just kind of feel like I wish the gossip and I wish the whole cloak, the mask of the ideas wasn't there. I wish ideas would just spew without mask, you know?
Yeah.
Who inspired me to make music? I mean, that's a long list. I think the first song I've ever heard in a car was Juicy by Biggie Smalls. And that was, I think, 94. But there's a lot, man. Tupac is actually, ironically, we're in Brooklyn right now. You know, they cut my head off for this. But Tupac is actually my favorite artist. A lot of people, Jay Nas, you know, Run DMC, NWA, Leaders of the New School, just a lot. I'm the type of guy that appreciates music so fully. So even if it's not necessarily lyricism, I try to understand music for what it is. Like when I hear an artist, I like to think about what he was thinking about when he wrote it. You know what I'm saying? So I venture out from like Tupac, Nas, Biggie, Jay, all the way to like Waka, Gucci, Chief Keef. And I just try to appreciate it for what it is, you know what I mean? Like, what it is what it is, so I just appreciate it, I mean. But tons of people inspired me, from the 90s to the 2000s to the 2010s and up, so. Right now I'm working on a mixtape. It's called Wish Me Success. It actually is like a rendition in the sense of like the way the Fast and the Furious series was written. Like it went forward, then it went back, then it went forward again, and the tape, it really is the aftermath of an album that I'm putting out later. It's the aftermath of it. So really, you're hearing everything backwards. So Wish Me Success is actually the struggle. It talks about the struggle in order to make me successful. And then, you know, towards the ending, I'm already there. You know what I mean? The album is based on the middle point. Because if you ever notice, there's a lot of artists that talk about they were in a struggle and then they reached success. But there's never that middle point telling you how they did it. You understand? So it's like, The mixtape explains the two endpoints. The two endpoints meaning my failures when I was low and my success. Then the album talks about the middle point. And the reason I say it goes backwards is because it never tells you the in-between point of like how I got there, you know? But it's called Wish Me Success. It should be out roughly around November, December-ish. And I have no clue how many tracks yet, but I give it take probably like 12. But yeah, I mean, it's called Wish Me Success. I got this other album coming out, and then I'm working on an EP with producer Angel M.
Okay. So, we're gonna name a couple of like tracks off the mixtape.
Name a couple tracks off the tape. I just got this track today from a Atlanta MC. He's pretty big. The crazy thing is he just got signed to a record label. I think it was a major deal actually, but I can't say anything. He hasn't really told me anything, but that's all he told me. But he's on the tape, and we got this record called Kings, and whew, it's just. And I give credit where it's due. The record was totally his idea, and I am blessed that he told me I can have it, because I was like, bruh, when we gonna release it? He was like, I don't know. He was like, you know what? You can have it, man. He was like, I released it on my own time, but you can put it on your tape. And I was just, woo, like, incredible.
Nice.
Great. It's a great feeling. There's a record called Kings. There's a record called Honest. Yeah, it's with A.R. Styles and Cola Ray.
Oh, okay.
So you could expect some really nice singing from her and a real nice verse from A.R. I'm gonna just leave it at that, man.
All right, that's good.
I'm gonna just leave it at that. I just gotta wait to hear this.
All right, that's good.
Because I threw out all 3 of my mixtapes. I threw them out. Like, I totally trashed them.
Wow.
You can still find them on SoundCloud, but I don't consider them my mixtapes.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to start over. Because, you know, looking at the tapes, you realize, like, what you did wrong in marketing. So you're looking back, you're like, damn, I had all this great music, but I didn't market it the right way. Because instead of making 3 tapes, I could have made 1 and just marketed it the right way and then probably been at a higher position, you know what I mean? So when I found that out, you know, just reflecting, I was like, you know what, I want to start over and make better music, take my time, make better quality music, and then just market it the right way, you know what I mean? That's why I didn't put a date on it yet, because we're still discussing marketing plans, music videos that come behind it. And it's crazy because the idea of the tape, Wish Me Success, also comes from the fact of the New York, you know, theme. Like, the fact that we're kind of in a slump right now, in the sense of there's, you know, you ever tell somebody about your accomplishments, they automatically assume you're boasting, you're bragging, or you're doing too much. And you could just be proud of what you're doing. And rather than wishing you success, they'd be like, I don't like that guy. And you just like, dude, like, why don't you just wish me success? Like, you know what I mean? So it also stemmed from that. But this tape is gonna be mean, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be mean. I'm not even trying to sound boastful, cocky, none of that. It's just, you know what it is? It's when I've never had the opportunity to really sit down and go over all of the sounds and like just it's like a crescendo. I love that word because my teacher used to say that to me. She was my music teacher, and she was like, it's a crescendo. It's like, but it sounded so cool. But yeah, it's like a crescendo, man. Like, dude, like I've never really sat down and really went over a tape so thoroughly. Like, when I was doing my other tapes, it was like I had managers that were paying for sessions. And this is just being honest, you know what I'm saying? We're cool, so this is being honest. But I'm saying I had managers that were paying for sessions. I always felt like I was rushed. It was like money session. You gotta get it done because I don't wanna spend no more money. You know what I'm saying? Now I have certain connects that are like usable, like so I can use them, you know, not in the sense of a bad usage. I just mean it's accessible. Like I have access to studios because of good friends of mine that believe in my talent, you know what I'm saying? So now we get to sit down and rather than feeling like it's so serious, we get to have fun, you know what I mean? Like we could sit down and be like, and rather than saying like in the studio, that verse was whack, you know what I'm saying? And they will tell me if it was whack, but I just mean like, they don't say it like pain in the asses, you know what I mean? Like it's always trying to help me. It's like I'm in a good headspace. Like as far as I have a great mind, I have great people surrounding me, so it feels good making it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that was the problem with the other tapes. I think I felt good, but I always felt that pressure. But with this one, it feels like my first tape, but it's also fun. You know what I mean? It's really fun. It's really great going to a studio and watching the other artists you want to collab, and y'all just chopping it up, and y'all so real. You could be like, yo, man, I wasn't feeling that singing part, but it's not in a bad way. It's not like, yo, F you suck. Like it's more or less like, yo, man, I'm trying to help you, trying to help me. Let's just keep it funky, like keep it real. You know what I mean? It's a lot, man. I'm not even BSing. It's a lot. Like I want to put out a mixtape. Obviously, I want to market it right, and marketing is so much. I'm still learning, like from my friend Victor, and definitely Yasin and a few other people I'm learning from. But I'm gonna just keep it at that. I want to put out a mixtape because I don't want to say my marketing plan on camera and then other people try to take it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just put out the mixtape for now, and we'll leave it at that. You know what it is, man? It's like if you follow my page, like it's facebook.com/Leon Marin Music, or if you go to leonmarinmusic.com and you see the moves I make, you can actually tell what my marketing plan is gonna be. You know what I mean? Like that whole spam thing that artists do, and I'm not knocking any of them because some of them have really incredible music. It's just not working because I feel like everybody does it, and believe me, I was a victim and I was also the one doing it. So I apologize to everybody I've spammed, and I finally realized why it's so annoying. Because waking up every day with like 40 messages in your inbox from different artists is actually pretty annoying. But it's definitely not spamming. What I can tell you about it is like Facebook ads, definitely flyers to hand out, a bunch of shows, a bunch of networking. Networking is actually, in some cases, like a job. You got to be everywhere to the point that people know you. You know what I mean? I'll give it to somebody actually that I actually admire. I'll give it a Wordspit. Wordspit is a great networking person. I've known Wordspit for some years, and he's great at networking. Like he's everywhere, like Comic-Con, everywhere. You know what I mean? So definitely stuff like that. And when I say everywhere, you still got to be strategic. I don't mean to act cocky as an artist, but I feel like if you've been somewhere for so long, that's great that you're getting established, but you also have to be in other places, you know what I mean? And I just mean don't do the same type of shows all the time. Like it's good to show people love and always to be at a certain venue, but after a while, you're gonna have to move on and come back and move on and come back. It's sort of like a game, you just gotta be around, Just be relevant, they say. That's the word, relevant. But the marketing will start from my mixtape, and then we'll take it from there. Right now, I'm actually talking to Victor Nunez. He's actually the founder of Revs and Thieves, which is a clothing line that sponsors myself and Scott Morris. And I'm pretty sure he sponsors a few other people, but I'm actually unaware of who they are. But I told him that I want to add more to his clothing line, and I don't mean it's not good, because I think it's an incredible clothing line. I just really want to be a part of it. I think the problem was when I was younger that I always made things about me, and I never understood what it meant to be a part of something. And seeing his clothing line, it inspires me, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually very glad that he actually had an open mind to understanding that I want to be a part of it. I have so many ideas in my mind for clothing, and we've discussed a little bit of it, you know what I mean? So that's one thing I want to do. As far as other things, my main focus right now is music. And I don't think so many artists say this, but I really want to be more involved with my family. I think that as artists, we tend to forget about really what's most important. I think that we prioritize, but when we prioritize, we only think about self. And just doing this whole music thing, I've realized I've gotten away from my family. And I'm not saying that's extremely bad in a sense. I'm just saying I also got to spend time with my family. So I just realized that as I was growing, and reflecting upon this stuff, that I actually want to spend more time with my family. But if it's not clothing, it's music. If it's not music, it's clothing. Other than that, there's nothing else really I want to do. I mean, I could be good at psychology, and I was definitely good in school as a journalist. You know, I like writing about things. But as far as what I really want to do, I really want to do music. You know, they say always have something to fall back on, and I've thought of a few things like journalism, psychologist, lawyer, but I really want to do music, and I really want to create clothing. I have so many ideas, and I don't necessarily want to start off with my own line. I really want to be a part of something, you know what I mean? And if it becomes my own line sooner or later, eventually, like when I'm older, then, you know, so be it. You know, I get inspired so much by Christina Walthall. She's an upcoming fashion designer, and she's phenomenal, you know what I mean? And I get inspired by people like Victor and Christina, so I just want to be a part of the clothing line, you know what I mean? Revs and Thieves, check it out. As an artist, my best advice to upcoming artists is be yourself. You know, pay attention to people, but not so much. I feel like people get used to you after they realize who you really are. If you're always trying to do what other people want you to do, you're never really giving them yourself. You know what I'm saying? Keep in mind that there's certain ebonics and there's certain expectations of you as an artist, you know, in the sense of subject matter. Like in the sense of, there's always going to be a club track. There's always going to be a sort of rockish track. There's always going to be a techno track. There's always going to be a real down-to-earth track. You know, they call it mellowisk. There's always those types of tracks and those types of feels to records. But what I mean by being yourself is when you make those type of feels, just be who you are. You know, don't try to overstep your boundaries. Like, it's always good to push your limits as long as you're telling the truth. I think when artists get spewed off is when they start pretending to be something they're not, and then eventually get caught, you know what I'm saying? But just be yourself. You know, as an upcoming artist, realize that you're upcoming. You know, stop looking down on people. I used to do that all the time, thinking that I'm this big guy, and I'm really not, you know what I mean? I'm just a regular person. But don't look down on people. Remember, the word is up and coming, you know what I mean? So just remember that you're coming, and you should be looking up, you know what I mean? And, you know, embrace others around you. You know, I feel as artists, we have this sort of cocky attitude, including myself. I feel like, you know, when we get certain accolades, you know what I mean? We tend to have this big head, and it's like we forget that we're human beings. And as an artist, I would just say embrace people. You know, somebody tells you they like your music, understand that they took time out of their day to really listen to what you had to say, you know what I mean? And there's so much that goes on in this world, so definitely embrace the supporters, you know, and just be yourself, man. Being yourself is the best thing you could do, because you don't have to lie, and we all know what happens when you lie. You got to make up another lie for that lie, and eventually it goes on until you get caught. So just be yourself. My style is so simple, and what I mean by that is I just wake up and I put things on. Like, it's that simple. I really don't think about it too much. I'm a bit indecisive, and I could say that as an artist, because sometimes I do actually ask my moms or I you know, like, just being honest. Sometimes I ask my moms, like, yo, this look cool. You know, all this is name brand. You know, these are Vans, Obey, Fatal, Goodwoods, G-Shock. You know, I'm actually getting out of this stuff, which is so ironic that I'm wearing it. I think it's more or less because today's just a chill day. But when I'm out, I'm actually wearing Revs and Thieves clothing, novelty clothing, Made in America clothing, Born Rich clothing, and these are endorsements, or so they say in layman's terms, sponsored.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But those are the clothes I usually wear. As far as today, this is just me on a chill day. But on a day that you catch me performing, I'm either wearing a LeonMarinMusic.com shirt, or I'm wearing a novelty clothing hat, or I'm wearing a Revs and Thieves shirt, a Born Rich shirt, a Made in America shirt, or sweater. It's crazy because outside of music, I'm the same person. You know, a lot of people that don't know me and like to assume things, they're like, oh, he's not. They have different opinions. Like, but I'm actually the same person. Anybody that really knows me, that's in my circle, like that really knows me for some years, or they all know I'm just a goofy. I'm really goofy. I'm very sarcastic. I'm so sarcastic, it gets taken out of context a lot. I'm very straightforward though, in a sense. Like, I'm sarcastic, but when it comes down to being serious, I'm super straightforward. And I really don't know why the world around me doesn't like that, because I feel like everybody wants the truth. They say it, but they don't want it. Like, they'll ask for it, and then when you tell them, they don't want to hear it. But I'm just really goofy. I'm really sarcastic. I'm extremely passionate. I'm very confident. A little indecisive. And I mean, I don't know, I'm just a serious guy too, I guess. I guess when it comes to things that I'm really passionate about, I'm extremely serious. But when there's certain times I just want to have fun. So I guess you could define that as a human being. You know what I mean? Not a robot. But I'm a human being, man. I'm a human being, like everybody else. You know? Living vicarious through these DJs that play whatever we play. I'm trying to bring that retro in like CJ. I know so many artists starving to make the music that they harvest. Pull that Drake talk, cause from the bottom's where they really started. Then they drop songs. Painting them pictures, I put my smock on. Telling Earth exactly how I spot on. I hit this with precision. The music lifts like highs up prescription. I channel all emotion in one mission. Living different altitudes, most people go by what others allow of you, and freedom ain't free. And like buildings that can tower, you get treated like meteors when criticism showers you. You'll get treated. Yo, too many women intervene with my music, living confused. Temptations got me trapped in my mind. I could be looking, but usually I act like I'm blind. My feelings confined with drama mixed with liquor. I swear these people talking, I'm imagining the whispers. Ever since a youngin', when my Tommies, my homies was catching bodies, guns illuminate. We call that Illuminati. I just like having fun, man. I mean, I just like having fun. I'll leave it at that. LeonMarinMusic.com, LeonMarinMusic.com, or LeonMarin.com, LeonMarin.com, or Facebook.com/LeonMarinMusic. And if you type in any website, you could just, do the backslash and then put Leon Marin Music. The only websites I say would give you an issue is like Bandcamp, because you would have to type in Leon Marin Music at the beginning. So it'd be leonmarinmusic.bandcamp.com, or Tumblr, leonmarinmusic.tumblr.com. But to make it easier for all you wonderful viewers out there, just go to leonmarinmusic.com. If you go to the bottom, it has like all the clickable icons. So you can just click on whatever icon you want, including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, whatever you guys like out there. There's probably a new social network about to hit tomorrow or something, that I'm gonna have to get because of you guys. But yeah, Leon Marin Music.